Alright, webale nnyo wabale ddala ate kubanga okyali ku AB Media UG tugamba nti Mind Games victory awaits. I wanna thank you so much for listening and watching our videos on AB Media UG. Mind Games victory awaits. Era kyokola kibeera kya bbeeyi nnyo era kyekikyasinze obukulu nnyo okubangira maaso n'okubanga ate ogenda wano ku mutimbagano gwaffe ogwa AB Media UG. Make sure you subscribe, like, share and comment. Nadala nnyo ku videos zaffe zetugenda maaso n'okubanga ate nga tukola zawe n'okubanga tubaweereza entegeka wezityo eza sports sako n'okubanga tutaganjula ensonga ezigenda maaso n'okubanga zitambula wali eri mu nsiike y'ebyemizannyo amanya n'eddoboozi nze Bruno Aganaga AB the sports pro osobola okubanga otusanga wali ku YouTube gwe just take ambutes AB Media UG, but of course make sure you subscribe to our channel, and then you can as well go on TikTok, just search AB Media UG. Era ensonga ejja kubanga zikutambulira marembe. Thank you for always being with us, for always following us, for always being there and trying to understand how we go by. Nadala nnyo mu nsonga bwezityo eza sports. Now, today we are going to take a sharp look on how things are going in semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal is playing PSG, and that is tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow, Barcelona will be playing INTERMILLAN. So now, today, what are we going to talk about, or what are we going to be maybe analyzing? Now, Arsenal playing PSG in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. We need to see how Mikel Arteta is going to adjust here and there without Thomas Partey in the midfield. Then we need to see whether Declan Rice is going maybe to drop deep in the midfield. Then Arsenal without Gabriel Magalhaes, and of course, you know, they are not having a very recognized striker. And then for the case of PSG, the likes of Ousmane Dembele, the guy is on form. So nesha nyamwingi munongezo tuenda kubantu ganiraho. Then away from that, we need also take a sharp look on how Barcelona and Inter Milan records history. Then head to head, how things are going, or how they have been, maybe how things are going right about there. So thank you so much for always listening and watching. Now let's start with Arsenal playing PSG. The match is at 10. Of course, that is tonight. So tukareba so far how can they go on. For the case of Arsenal, this will be their first time since 2009. So hata tuine kuba tureba okuba base kwamba handlinga enshonga zao. Remember, we are just remaining with a renewal of hostilities in the final form as Arsenal take on PSG today in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. Now, if you to take some of the memories, Arsenal, they are looking for their first ever UEFA Champions League trophy. Now, can it happen now that Arsenal, after failing to win the English Premier League, can they now go on and be the champions of the UEFA Champions League? Let's wait and see. Now, Mikel Arteta, of course, wojana ngeri gye basobola okubanga basamba muko nadala nnyo wali mu quarter finals, out-competing, outwitting, out-fighting, outclassing a club like Real Madrid. Oyinza olowooza muko nti oli mu quarter finals. So we need to wait and see. Oyishuke bineyo okubambazaana empira kuhika omuli ebiri kuri omu semi finals akandi oyishuke kunyumunonga they will be at home at Emirates Stadium, meaning okubamba tayisa club ya PSG being at home. I think this is an added advantage, their first leg being at home. I think they need to at least work very, very tirelessly. At least they go on and secure a win, a victory. Then when they go at the Parc des Princes, there they can see how they can forge around. tungumza kwantore club ya PSG bakushoza club ya Aston Villa in the last 8 tukare club ya Aston Villa. Actually this team eketangwi nangwa nakache. Now what should we maybe be concerned about right about now? Ahansi yo mutendechi ati wa club ya Real Madrid warkweta Carlo Ancelotti tukare club ya Arsenal batine striker batine recognized person awakwasa kusitamu mchina chomwami ati warkweta Gabriel Magalhaes, but still club ya Arsenal yagumuzwa kwa netwereka they can go on and patch the Los Broncos. Now club ya Arsenal of course wanoreba first leg bakutera goals ishatu aharusha bakutera club ya Real Madrid, then bagaruka mbakagitayira kuroma kagabaga Santiago Bernabeu abahumuza kwamba gisira goals ibiri ahariyemwe. Now meaning on aggregate that is 5-1 over the most successful team in the history of the competition. Now Gabriel Magalhaes of Tabaho, meaning Arsenal they had to use what we call set pieces because Gabriel Magalhaes abariyo muntu abarukuru mu defense amuzan kwa nabatere mitwe, then without a striker the likes of Kai Havertz, Gabriel Magalhaes, so club ya Arsenal they had to use set pieces and Bukayo Saka no muntu abasinye no kuba naba involved na muno as forces base kwamba mukoraho, meaning this gave a chance to Declan Rice to utilize those two super class free kicks. Now this is going to be maybe the third time for the Arsenal, the third time ever and the first since 2009. Now having lost to Manchester United dogo mwaka gwa sekwanu gutambura 3 seasons after their final heartbreak akan club ya Barcelona egumza kubani bashoza at least club ya Arsenal so far they have a 50% success rate from the UEFA Champions League semi-finals, but of course wano yitegereza mokareba club ya Arsenal so far they are the genuine contenders anokubamba hangure chikopechi echempaka is a Champions League. Club ya Arsenal so far basekwamba zane mpira ekika umurumunana omumpaka is a Champions League season 2024-2025 without any loss. They are unbeaten mpira kika umurumunana. Now what's next? Now a club ya Arsenal of course wagumuzano kwa noreba sequence yabo okuba jemerize mpira 12 bose kubana batambura season 2025-2026. Now they coincidentally entered ompira gweri yanyakazoba okuba mbatambuza empira maybe so far omipira 12 no kubana bahanguramu empira mukaga bakadrawinga empira mukaga. Now club ya Arsenal of course turebere it was on Wednesday bakora draw na club ya Crystal Palace mpaka is a champion mpaka is a English Premier League, meaning just a change base chikaza kwancheza club ya Spurs no kuba ambe funiramu akabonero kamwe then bakahangura ekikopo. So club ya Arsenal so far edisione base kuba nefuna base kwana kora draws kushika umurumwenda wano baramu. Now ansiyo mutendechi wa club ya PSG ogumba mweta Luis Enrique abona tekateka of course abasigazibe wano etegereza mokareba okuba base kuba bashoza Aston Villa. Of course Aston Villa eketangwi nangwa nakache na waro kwase kwano bagishohoza umpira gukata bukompya gwatabukira kimwe konka wano etegereza mokareba Aneslot okuyase kuba natwara club ya Liverpool ekikopo then okareba Unai Emery gwe club ya Aston Villa bakuzana club etie ya PSG. Of course tukareba abamaba ba PSG bakushoza Aston Villa a second leg loss goals ishatu ahari ibiri. No wasa kuteka munti ekintu kyakabase kuba anichwa. Club ya PSG of course they are the recent League 1 rivals ninga shabaze kuba barge no kuba bahangura ekikopo cyabo kandi echa French League 1 kuko wano reba club ya PSG base kwa so famba losing am empire yemwe na nemwe because banyuma kuba bahangura just mpira goals ibiri ari mafite club ya Havre bajasa kwamba kwa drona club ya Nantes goal emwe ahari emwe. Then bargano kubana baruzinga, it was on Friday bakutera club ya Nice goals ibiri, actually goals nkibira ari emwe. Wow, no meaning ansi ya club ya PSG gogo mutecho warukweta Luis Enrique aine ibintu by'amani ebyaine kuba kana rekant maybe yakora chumwe abo kuba tukarebaho even na goals, tukareba club ya Nantes erukubiyona nayo amariri ibiro 22 ebyo kwa kana, meaning MPA kushika omuri 18 na club ya PSG etwirenete bamu away from home in all competitions. Echinchimaisa club ya PSG, they have all what it takes to score away from a home. Now club ya PSG of course no ishikomu kuyikumaho kibanza cyo kuyikumi bakabasa kubana baterwa club ya Arsenal goals ibiri arusha kuri ahari Emirates Stadium. Now what does this one mean? It means this result extended Arsenal's run without a defeat. Akan bakuzana club ya PSG ompire kuka omuriyeton club ya PSG nchimanyisa omipire tane base kubanereruka tubakatire mu club etiye ya Arsenal. In fact club ya PSG ebase kuba kanu mnywano wanje ebyo kutera club ya Arsenal byo rukasa kubana bo ortaro, and echinchimanyisa chi nchimaisa club ya Arsenal ogumzamu no kuba kandi nubashoza Madrid, because Madrid niyeberi nkesigiremo ya mano hireho Barcelona konka nchimaisa ararabe hwa agati ya PSG hamwe na Arsenal nija kuba nakwata club ya Barcelona ningashi INTERMILLAN ebro 31 ebyo kwa katano form eyemerireta. Now twareba omu Champions League form omupira mukaga club ya Arsenal base kuba ntihangura empire 5 yakora mu draw yo mpira gumwe. Club ya PSG in all competition in Champions League base kwa ntihangura mu empire na ya ruzingamu emipira ebiri. Club ya Arsenal of course barabe bino musigaza kweta Thomas Partey ogwakafunamu yellow card yabase kubane yongerayo okutegansa mu club ya Arsenal, and this was a very stupid yellow card, and this one match game suspension in the first leg. Now Thomas Partey meaning omwami ati warkweta Declan Rice na basa kurana maybe yas kamukache ashitamo mukina, because omwami warkweta Jorginho number 6 no twakwensteka tekantisha kuba arho, but this one is likely to be out for the rest of the season with a chest injury. So Declan Rice inakuwa dropping deeper, then Mikel Merino hatu watanchire hari a left 8 role gumza kuba maybe na korogomormo ogu Declan Rice aturi nakora, meaning ata utwantu barabara mukareba Ben White nawe ogumwami nchirebekanisha kuba ataruho bukujainemo obuzubo mukuju. Then Ricardo Carafiori ogwenza kubantu ndatore kwara ase kuba nafunamu ompira abo kubantu mudoutinga. Then Gabriel Magalhaes of course ogwa in hamstring injury tararebe ko Kai Havertz na in hamstring injury, Takahiro Tomiyasu nawe nashasha omukuju. Then Gabriel Jesus ogwe nawe taruho completely, and also Jorginho we nashasha mu omukifuba, meaning hata aho abasigaza aturabase kubantu barebaho omuchai. On the other hand club ya PSG ogumza kubamba progressing akuru omu Europe bagerzaho burchimo kushiru kubasika era buri muzana nagezaho no kuba nafaye. Ana club ya Barcelona oyishke ogomama ayabase kwa nargar Barcelona ogo barkweta Luis Enrique wena agambira chimwata atinyowe starting 11 yanje mbenyine kwanyikoza kuterwa club ya Nice atkonka still a result no warita base kwa nebonera kurunji, but I have to use the same prayers. Now omusigaza kweta Badri Bakora na sakura maybe ashtama omuchina chomwa warkweta decide decree. Then Ousmane Dembele, the guy has been on form na mnomno wanoreba arukuba involved mu goals 40 omipira 40 meaning he has scored 32 goals and 12 assists. Konka amana goal kureba gabe nakozesa tukumayigajire, because in the 6 straight games omumpakeza French League 1 hamwe na Champions League taine mugoro yatenangwa nemwe. Now ntekateka Arsenal kuba nibatangisoha club ya Arsenal ntekateka okubana bareta omusigazi obarukweta David Raya, barete Julian Timber, abarete William Saliba, Jacob Kewe, then barete Lewis Skelly, barete omusigazi obarukweta Martin Odegaard, Rice Merino, Saka, Trossard hamwe na Martinelli. PSG ntekateka kubana baretoha omusigazi obarukweta Donnarumma, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho Mendes, Reus, Vitinha, Neves, Bakora hamwe na Dembele, Ogisona Kvaratskhelia. Now club ya Arsenal okubetinga ogompira nungutekateka kubana gutambura guta. Now owagorogoro ataho kasutekateka ntana ari atikinga nabasakora baho. Then club ya Arsenal abo kugira ngo hati ya these days William Saliba na charakora mwensho bizaka huje very silly mistakes au defense anstekateka club ya PSG they must score a goal and Arsenal also have to score a goal. But still club ya Arsenal being at home and being very much composed babariyo bakwatira ompira, we can give it a slender win nka 2-1 tutekateka nta Arsenal ompane basaguye nka goals ibiri ariyemwe kan iworo hokurunye mnonga hari AB Media UG whereby we say mind games are victory awaits. Ngawe nakugambye tugusanga wari ku YouTube gwegenda yo bugenzi ogena maso no kubanga utuweriza comment what's your take on our Tuesdays and Wednesdays UEFA Champions League. Now away from Arsenal and PSG, let's straight away go to Barcelona playing Inter Milan. Now it will be tomorrow. Now tomorrow this club of Barcelona are going to be playing Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. But of course, this is going to be the first time after 15 years on from their last clash in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. Now, Barcelona and Inter Milan, they convene for another last four tie. Akankuri Omri Montjuic, and this is going to be the first leg of the in the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Barcelona being at home. Now Inter, of course, bakaragano kwamba hangure chikopo omwagwe 10 but now Barcelona, they are now aiming to eliminate their Italian rivals and meet either Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain in the next month's decider. Let's now take a sharp look on how things have been going. One or less of a club at Barcelona, they are now bidding to reach the Champions League for the first time since claiming their 5th European Cup in 2015. Club at Barcelona, after having their bitter rivals Real Madrid, subsequently claimed the continent's top trophy 5 years. Of course, Real Madrid, they have been very bitter and very tough. Kanba mzonkwamba hangura kubika omurubutanu omumpaka is a UEFA Champions League. But now the fact that they are reigning champions are now out of the season's competition, while the Barcelona's furious young squad are still standing. One Ransi Omtendechi wa klabu ya Barcelona obarukweta Hans Flick, they have now scored a rate of 3.1 goals per game. Only klabu ya Bayern nho basekwano bateba goals kusingaho, that is an average of 3.2 per 90 minutes now, finishing second behind Liverpool in the new league phase before beating Benfica in the last 16. Now club ya Barcelona from quarterfinals bakutela Borussia Dortmund goes in Arusha. At this at this stage tukareba kumzamu they had actually lost on 5 of their last attempts at progress, meaning no bargeno kuba kanu mwana wanje bafutera goals ishatu ahari emwe baguza kwamba losing goals ishatu ahari emwe, kandi club ya Barcelona bakuterwa Dortmund goals ishatu ahari emwe, meaning there is still a long way to go. And if you can maybe see this Catalan club, they have won 5 and drawn 1 of the 6 home games while racking up 21 goals. Wanoreba timu ya club ya Barcelona okubagumuzamu no kuba kandi umwana wanje nubahangura. They even scored 3 goals there in Seville on Saturday when they came out of the typical dramatic El Clasico edition akan omumpaka is a Copa del Rey ishika bafite ya club ya Real Madrid omudakika ya 16 that was an extra strike from Julius Conde. So olabira dant club en weti ya Barcelona basobodo kubanga bakozesa their young stars and the likes of Lamine Yamal, the Pedri. So club that is Barcelona. That's how they have tried to make sure they can secure both Spanish Liga and the UEFA Champions League. And then of course Julius Conde was the hero in the Copa del Rey over the weekend, and of course that was a Saturday after securing a record of 32 domestic triumph for Barcelona. Now obonera obukwa club ya Barcelona hamwe na club ya Real Madrid, and that is Los Blancos na kuria omupaka is a Spanish Liga. So far Barcelona, they have won 23 of their last 28 games, only losing to Borussia Dortmund. Club ya Barcelona okuhangura empira 23 omupira 28 just bakuterwa club ya Dortmund, but still they could do with further extending that trend on Wednesday. One whatever so far club ya Barcelona being at home, they can go on and maybe use this as a vital first leg lead. INTERMILLAN, they are unbeaten in their last 15 Champions League home fixtures. Club ya INTERMILLAN tubaka basize kubano baterwamo omupira na gumwe omipiri 15 eyibaru kuba bari omuka. Now the Spanish side were winless in the team's 2 most recent meetings, and of course that was during 2022 and 2023 group stages, and also lost their last semi-final showdown. Now a club ya Barcelona bakaba tinemu obuhanguzi nangwa nabwo murundi nagumwe omu meetings ibiri ezihererukire na muno wano yishika kuri mu season eye2022 eye2023 club etie ya INTERMILLAN back progressinga bakushanga club ya Manchester City kandi kuri finals hataho kana rwe norutaro akandi oturabase kubanturindira chumwe kandi iworo ko nyumunongo ryo no hurkiza kandi niwe oriyo no reba sofa eshonko zingumza no kubanzitambura. Now Barcelona may have had a better of the clubs, that is 12 Champions League clashes overall, winning half, but Inter memorably won the most important so far. Now Jose Mourinho wanoroku abase kuba na handlinga enshongaze with that experienced squad kandi bagumiza no kwambatera Barcelona goals 3 ahari 2. That was an aggregate before testing the 2010 final. Now a club ya INTERMILLAN barwe bakasa kwambatera Barcelona goals 3 ahari 2 on aggregate. Then club ya INTERMILLAN bakagumizamu bahangura empaka iza UEFA Champions League. Now European champions for a third time that year, the Milan bakagumiza no kuba munywano wanje even bakuba the runners up to Manchester City, that was 2023, but of course they are now having that intent of going one step further. Now club ya INTERMILLAN of course mateka season ya se kwa INTERMILLAN 2023 they are trying all means bari mbajezo gukora burishira kubasika, and that this time around bakagumzamu no kubakande munywano wanje mbika finals then batwara nechikopo. Now after matching Barcelona's 19 points in this season league phase, Inter Milan bakarga no kwambatera Feyenoord omuka bagumza no kubaka mwana wanje bakujyana na kuri last 16 batakihireho club ete ya Bayern Munich no kubaka mwana wanje bakushika ahari finals. Wano reba goro y'omusigazi obarukweta David Fratesi akane babase kwa mwana wanje bafite bakuri San Siro in the second leg. Ataho chikumanyisa ompeka babase kwa ngutamo draw ya goals ibiri hari biro hasi y'omutencha barukweta Simon Inzaghi abase kubana aterwa empire kika omuri ebiri in the last 20 Champions League matches. Meaning omwami atiyo barukweta Simon Inzaghi nija kubakana mnyano wanje nawe natwereka he is having his 50th game in the UEFA's top competition, becoming the 7th Italian to reach that milestone. None of others can match his record of 26 matches. Ogwo mutendechi ari barukweta Simon Inzaghi ogungu kubaguri ompira gwegwa 50 omu competitions kusinga kuba ezamani zikubazo recognized by the UEFA kandi kiza kuba ntimuretera yaba omutende cyakusinga kuba naho nafuna wins 26. Now wano barabaramu abwenshonga eyakire deka turebe so far abamaba mbabasa kurara maybe bakora bata kandi teams basa kurara maybe zizesta no kubantorebwa injuries oku bwemerire. Now club ya Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League babasa kubambargayo no kuhanguramu empire kushika omuriyengahi ningashi sofa record yabo yo hati yo ne tugambira kisofa okwa base kubano bahanduringa enshonga sawo. Now club ya Barcelona omipira erukushika omuri mukaga in only UEFA Champions League babase kuba kandi backstrugglingamo. That's the truth. They have struggled a little a bit. Then what about Inter Milan? Of course, Inter Milan, like as we had said earlier, they are also trying to secure their first trophy since 2010. Barcelona omipira ekuhero ko muri mukaga aze kubana bahangura mu empirena baruzingamo ompira gumwe and they have drawn once. What about Inter Milan? Inter Milan has won 5 games and only drawn once. Then Barcelona, they will be having that setback of not having their striker, that is Roberto Lewandowski. This guy suffered a hamstring injury earlier this month, and they will also miss he's likely actually to miss the next week's return leg. But of course, we hope the likes of the Alejandro Balde will be back in action for the left back. But of course, the likes of Gerard Martin, this guy could also come in. Then Inigo Martinez, Julius Conde, Paul Cabalsi, and then maybe it will be up to this man. Maybe use Mark Banal and Mark Casado. Now, of course, Antoeva goalkeeper, number 1 choice goalkeeper, away club with ya Barcelona, msalimu kama kidwanga Mark Andre ter Stegen, yasodo kubanga komo bulunginyo, ira he's going to be in the first squad since September. But of course, zenga tulaba musajja mukono gwe bayise Washezin. The guy has been very, very good. But of course, for now, I think he's going to be setting up to keep the gloves for a meanwhile. Then the likes of Ferran Torres, this guy is going to be up front with the wingers like Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. Actually, this combination have had more goals than any other duo in the UEFA Champions League this very season, and of course they have scored around 5 goals, and they have created the most chances for another teammate. They have created 16. Out of 16, they have scored 8 from set pieces. Now, along with the absent Lewandowski, they have scored 27 of Barcelona's, that is 37 goals in the competition so far. Now, for the Inter Milan, They have, of course, their captain, that is Lautaro Martinez. Ogomwami abasekwana achwa obutimba actually has scored in all of his last 5 Champions League appearances, becoming the first player to score more than 20 times for the Nerazzurri in the UEFA's top tournament. Now, his preferred McCarthy Thuram partner, this guy has scored 14 league goals this time. Hopes to play some part at Mato Juicy. Akanetara between ompira yomnywano wanjoro kunyumunongo kurikirize AB Media UG, having missed the last 3 games with a thigh injury. So antekateka maybe Simon Inzaghi nokuba na leta mu musigati wari kweta Joaquin Correa, Marco Anatovic hamwe na Meth Aterami, though they have not convinced this very season. Now, omwami kuruga kuri muyanga erya Bofa Alliance, that is Benjamin Pavard, okutwase kwantara kufuna mukanok izoberi ya Sunday. So we don't know whether he's going to be back, but of course Denzel Dumfries and Piotr Zielinski abambak bambagaruka kurungi na muno njoka bishikaho bakuzana club ete ya Roma. After regular starters Alessandro Bastoni, Henrik Mkhitaryan aboskoye bakaza kumafuna mu suspension, they are going to be very present, and that is tomorrow for the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. Barcelona predicted lineups ntekateka kwamba retoha still washes in then Konde, Kobasi, Martinez, Martin de Jong, Pedri, Yamal, Olmo, Rafinha, Hamona Toleis. INTERMILLAN, that is Yannick Sommer, Biseki, Asabi, Baston, Dumfries, Barrera, Carhanoglu, Mkhitaryan, Dimarco, Martinez, and that is Athrami. Barcelona, the way they do possess the ball, and for the case of INTERMILLAN, I think their most part is going to be defending. So we say Barcelona is likely to win like 2-0, and maybe that is how we think. There is no over goal is going to be a tug of war, but still Barcelona with the likes of Yamal, Olmo and Rafinha, they can go on and win like 2-0. That's my prediction. So before you bet, you need to first inquire the sports ministers. So that is for now. Keep listening and keep tuning to the AB Media UG. That's why we say mind games, a victory awaits. For now, allow me to wish you all the best, but make sure you subscribe, share, like and comment our video, and of course you can as well go on TikTok, just search AB Media UG, and still we say mind games, victory awaits. For now, I wish you all the best. My name is Bruno Agaragebi Sports Pro. Bye bye.